Rudy's Pizza if you're watching. Hi, I'm Becca and I'm Head of Creative at Vagabond Digital. Every day is pretty different, but I'd say like overseeing all creative projects, most recently planning and executing shoots for our clients to really help like elevate the brands, and then working with the performance team to come up with like the creative strategy for our paid social campaigns, and then looking at like insights on the data to see how we can optimise on creative performance. I mean, I've always been really, really arty at high school. Was always painting, always drawing from a really, really young age. And then I did graphic design at uni, even though I was going to do economics, but I thought I'd go down the creative side. Yeah, I think because art was always seen as more of a hobby for people like that, and just because graphic design and art is so different, because graphic design is like art with a purpose, I'd say, because you're always like facing a lot of challenges, you're solving a lot of problems, whereas art, oh god, I'm going to like really offend a lot of people, but it's just sort of like, it looks really nice, it's really pretty, whereas graphic design, it solves a lot of problems and it has more of a purpose. From working in an agency, you can't really have a style because you've got to adapt to loads of different brands, and then they have their own like brand playbooks and their own brand guidelines. So I'd say my style's pretty much gone out the window, but it did used to be just very like illustrative, minimal. Like there's always like the typical ones, like you've got Pinterest, you've got Behance, and then there's just loads of different websites to look at for design, or even just like walking around and having a look at like flyers down the street, or menus, or like billboards and things, and then TV. Like there's just so many different types of inspiration that you can look at depending on the project, I guess. But then yeah, looking at competitors, looking at what other agencies are doing, like really huge brands. I'd always like look at like Giant Ant or for video production, and then Design Studio are really cool for branding, and then you've got Wolf Ollins. I would say any brand that sells food, particularly pizza. But I guess just any client that's just willing to really push the boat out, is not afraid to kind of experiment, who has like really broad briefs. I'd love to work with IKEA. I think their campaigns, like they really think outside the box, and they're just quite minimal but really, really creative. So yeah, definitely. IKEA, or a brand who sells pizza. There are a lot of websites out there that kind of like, they'll generate briefs for you that you can take away, that they don't exist, they're not actually any sort of clients. Then you can read the briefs and come up with some of your own concepts, do some of your own designs, and then say if like you've not got any experience in the industry, you can sort of build a portfolio based on these briefs and then send them out to kind of your dream agencies or dream brands that you'd want to work with. Or just something really innovative. And I think personal projects can help really well, because they sort of just don't follow the norms of typical like brand work, and so it just like adds in addition to portfolio. So yeah.